everyone, so today I'm going to be doing my spring essentials, or the spring edit as some people call it, and I was originally just going to do a spring makeup tutorial and just whack it all together with some music and bish bash bosh done, all of that stuff, but then a whole load of new kind of releases for spring and summer landed on my doorstep, and I was like, well, I can't use them all and I can't not talk about them because some of them were just so exciting and pretty, and then some of them were already existing things which I have been loving using at the moment. So I thought I'd put them all into one big video for you. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but yeah. Spring edit. So yeah, lots of products. I've got 3 from kind of each category, and I'm going to show you kind of how I apply them and things like that. So let's get started. So first up we have primers, and my oldest and my most favourite primer, it's like my little buddy for kind of like spring, summer, is the Clarins Instant Smooth Self Tanning. And this is awesome for girls like me that don't get to go out in the sun ever. It just gives the most lovely tan. It doesn't break me out. It's kind of like one of those ones which it does stick around a little bit, but the majority of the tan washes away when you wash your face at night. It just leaves you with a little bit of a glow, which I love, and it's kind of like can build up a little bit over time. So I'm currently kind of building myself up to be a shade darker in foundations than I would normally be, because at the moment I literally don't think I can get any paler unless I stop. I don't know, I just don't think I can get any paler. So I've cracked this out and I've been using it and loving it, and yeah, it's just awesome, so I love that. I also love the Dior Glow Maximizer Light Boosting Primer, longest name ever. I think this is awesome for spring because if you're just lacking that little bit of summery glow on like kind of dull days, it really perks your skin up. It's also great to use if you are kind of in between the oily and not oily phase. Like I get really oily in the summer, but at the moment I'm kind of more dry, so I want to start using more summery foundations because I do get a little bit hot throughout the day, but for the the start of the day I just look like a matte mess. So this is awesome for that, and it doesn't make you look too sticky and glowy and sweaty. It is just a really nice glow which doesn't let your makeup go anywhere. I don't even know if I'm making sense. But the primer that I'm actually going to be using today is the Kiehl's Micro Blur Skin Perfector, and I love this stuff. This is awesome. I apply it all over my face. I just kind of dot it on each bit of my face. Just rub it all in with my hands. Rub it, blend it. Terminology, fail. It's seriously good. I walked home in like the torrential rain the other day and it was still like everything was still intact. I can use it over my eczema and it actually makes foundation sit perfectly. So I've used the Kiehl's primer today, and then we move on to foundation, and I'm kind of going through the light coverage foundations phase at the moment. I'm loving kind of like BB creams and tinted moisturisers with a little bit more coverage, but it's kind of like that in-between phase. And to get started is another old favourite, the NARS Tinted Moisturiser. Is NARS Tinted Moisturiser? Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturiser. This stuff is beautiful. Even without a primer, it just sits beautifully on the skin. It makes you look so glowing and lovely, and even if it's not the perfect colour match, because this is slightly too dark for me at the moment, it just gives you the most beautiful glow without looking orange, and I love that. And then we have a new release, which is the Benefit Big Easy, and this is kind of like a liquid to powder BB cream, which sounds really weird. I wasn't sure if I liked it at first, but I actually think that I do. When I first apply it, it gets a bit kind of, it looks a bit greasy, but then it sets to kind of like a matte finish, which I think is awesome. It's going to be really good for the summer when I get oilier. I really like it. It's quite interesting. It's quite like the NARS tinted moisturiser, except slightly less coverage and more like matte rather than glowy and lovely. I think the real test will be when I start getting really oily in the summer, but I actually really like the coverage of this. It's just really nice and lightweight, doesn't break me out. It's just good stuff. And then we have the foundation that I'm using today, and it's the Chanel Perfection Lumiere Velvet. Loads of you asked to see this in a video, so I thought this would be the perfect video to show you it in. And because I'm applying it over my Kiehl's primer today, I can use it over my eczema patch, which normally it doesn't sit very nicely over, but today it's absolutely fine. So I'm using this today. It's kind of like a semi-matte finish. It's not completely matte, and I do like the fact it's not completely matte because I don't think I can get on with that kind of finish anymore. I don't like it. So I just pop this on the back of my hand, and then I dot it on my face in quarters as I did with the primer, and then I go over it with the Tarte foundation brush, which is a big fluffy one that comes with the 12-hour full coverage foundation. And this is awesome for blending in foundation. It's just really quick and easy. It's huge, so you just literally like go in as if you were kind of like buffing in powder, and this is an awesome brush to use with this. I just really like this combination together. What am I saying today? And this is also really nice with the NARS Tinted Moisturiser as well. Next I'm going to move on to concealing, and at the moment I don't need that much concealer. I've been going to bed at a semi-reasonable hour and I've been eating okay, so I'm not needing a massive amount of concealer at the moment. But what I have been doing is mixing the NARS Creamy Concealer, which I found the other day down the back of my desk. How had it got there? I have no idea. I've been mixing this and the Touche Eclat concealer together by YSL. This is the shade 1 and this is the shade Custard. So this is ever so slightly too dark, but the YSL really shears it out and it gives it a lovely glow that it doesn't normally have. So that makes it great for my under eyes, because I find that the YSL is too sheer for my under eyes. I've been mixing them together, tapping it under my eyes, using the excess just around my nose and on any kind of very light scarring that I have, and buffing that in with my Real Techniques buffing brush, and this is an awesome combination. But for days when I have a kind of bigger spot or scar, I've also been using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Concealer, blah 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 blah. This one actually doesn't have that long a name, I don't know why it said blah 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 blah. But this is the shade Light, and I just take this on the Winged Liner brush by Tarte. This little brush here, and I just kind of take a little bit, because you barely need anything, so I kind of just like squeeze it out at the end and just tap my brush into it, and then just really precisely tap it onto any kind of spots that I have, and then just press it in with my finger. I barely use any, but it's so kind of heavy coverage that you don't need anything at all, so I just really kind of like press it in, done. And then we move on to blushes and bronzers, and it is definitely spring when I crack out this many. The first one I've been loving is the Lizelle Natural Glow Bronzer, and this is just beautiful. I just take this on my Real Techniques buffing brush. I just find that this brush is awesome for really blending in bronzer, and it just looks lovely. So I've just been swirling my brush in that, because it's got the different kind of pinky, yellowy, browny segments to it. Give it a swirl. And then I just buff that into my cheeks and onto my temples, down my neck, everywhere, on my nose. And it just makes me look like I naturally have a tan, which is awesome, because I love bronzers that actually make you look like you're tanned rather than you're kind of like contouring slightly wrong. I don't know, I just think that this gives a really lovely natural kind of tanned effect. And then we have Clinique blushes, and I really like these two, and this is O2 Peach Pop and O3 Berry Pop, and this one is kind of a more orangey peach, and this one is kind of like a hot pink, but kind of like with a warm tone to it. I just love these, they are beautiful, they're so pigmented and have a really lovely kind of satiny finish. I don't know, they don't have a powder finish, which I find really interesting, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but I really like these. I think they're really pretty and great blushes for spring. And then we have the one that I'm using today, which is the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in the shade Flush, and this is just beautiful. It's kind of like not even a cool toned pink. It looks incredibly cool toned, but it actually comes off as a really lovely warm natural pink, and I just think it's beautiful. Because I'm going quite heavy on the bronzer, I just kind of picked a quite natural pink, and I just think that it works really nicely, and I love this. Next we have lip products, and for spring, you know I love a gloss. I've been really liking gloss anyway recently, even when it was kind of like more wintry. But I've been loving the Maybelline Colour Sensational glosses. This one is Cashmere Rose, and I think this one is just a really pretty one for if you're kind of like on the go. It's a really nice kind of like sunny day. I just think these glosses are really, really pretty, and they just work really well for kind of spring when you've kind of got more blush on, more bronzing. I just think these are beautiful. And then we have one of my favourite lipsticks that has been released recently, and it's the Estee Lauder Pure Colour Envy Sculpting Lipstick, something like that. I might actually learn the name of it one of these days. This is the shade Desirable, and it's a really pretty pinky nude. I just think that it is gorgeous. It's just lovely for when you're on the go, and it's really moisturising but still kind of long lasting, and I love that. And I also love that. How could you not love that? And then we have the lip product that I am wearing today, and it is the Revlon Colour Burst Matte Balm in the shade Audacious. So I just apply this straight from the crayon, and I just think that it's beautiful. I was going to kind of like pat it in and make it more subtle, but it just looks awesome on its own. It's what I was wearing in my last video where I did my hair tutorial, and I just think that this is gorgeous. Then we have some nail polishes as my last extra, and today is like the worst day for me to talk about nail polishes because I have nothing on my nails today, but I thought I'd start off by just showing you the Liz Earle limited edition spring summer collection. I think these are really pretty. This pink does nothing for me, so I probably won't get too much wear out of this at all, but this kind of like midnight blue is just gorgeous. It's not even a midnight blue, I was saying, it's like a grey blue. It is just gorgeous. I love this. I just think it's beautiful. This is the shade Moonlight and this is the shade Awakening, and I do think they're really, really pretty. Like I said, the pink one is so totally not up my street, but the bluey grey one I can so get on board with, and I just think that Liz Earle nail polishes are really, really great. The formula of them is just awesome. So I thought I'd show you those, but we all know what my biggest love has been for spring, and that is the Topshop nail polish in Totally Turmeric. This is stunning. I just love this yellow colour, and I think it's so perfect for spring, for me anyway, because when it gets to summer I am all about the neons, and the brighter you can get it, the better. So at the moment, just warm, really beautiful colours are start my street. So I've been loving kind of like really rich kind of oranges, orangey reds, warm toned yellows, or it's like a yellowy orange, I don't even know. But this is stunning, and I love the formula of Topshop nail polishes. I think they are the best. So that is it for my spring edit tutorial. I don't know, I don't even like the term spring edit. I just see it all the time in my sub box every spring, and I'm just like, because I like watching them. I don't know why I don't want to call it a spring edit, but this is my spring essentials plus tutorial. So that is it from me today. I hope you guys liked this. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know if there's any other spring related videos you would like to see, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!